Right, hi lads and lasses, welcome to Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. And today's video has been inspired by one of the channel's fans. Right, so what he asked me was the lower end of the scoring, so basically like 50s, 60s, when you miss, how do you think about that? So he's saying that's why I've not given his name. Obviously, he's a lower level player because he's worried about missing the big segments. So how do we go about those sort of lower finishes for the less able of us, the ones that are not as far down the path as some of the others? And it's dead simple. It's that really basic mindset is know where you're going and go where you know. So it's all about thinking before you get to the hockey. How many dart players, and it doesn't matter what level they are, whether it's from a pub player who's not been playing that long, all the way up to Peter Wright and all the other players, they'll throw a dart, they'll miss what they were going for, and then they'll stand on the hockey, scratch their head for a couple of seconds, ask the referee what they want. So the referee will then say to them, 56 left, and then they will sort of like plan it out from there. And they're doing that while they're stood on the hockey. I personally think there's nothing worse than that. I personally think that what you should be doing is, as your opponent is throwing his three darts, you should be thinking at that point exactly which way you're going to go, what your path is going to be. So let's say, just for instance, we're going for 56, right? So the dead obvious way going for 56 in my mind, 16 for tops. And what he's saying is he's worried about missing this big 16. Right, so the way that I think about it and the way that I look at it is 16s and 8s. So 8 is half for 16, isn't it? So what do? You aim for this big bit here. And the reason we aim for this big bit here, it makes it 10 times easier. If you hit that, it's double top. If you hit that, it's another one of them, so put another one next to it, and it's still double top. See, it's all about following a path. For Dynamite Dave and the way that Dynamite Dave thinks about things, and personally, if you're not fantastic at maths, and this is another basic way of thinking it, say you were going for big 12 for double top, so we want 52, so you're going to go big 12, double top. What happens if you drop into the 9? What's the most simple way in the world, right, of thinking about it? The most simple way without thinking, oh, I'll go for this, I'll do that. Dead simple. 9 and 3 is 12. So we go for 3, double top. And it's not about hitting this, it's all about knowing where you're going, because you've got far more confidence of it in that big 3 and then going for the double top, because once we've hit the big 3, we're back where we were going. So we're back on that path again. So that's the way I think about things. I think if I go off a path, how do I get back on that path? Not, what's the other way I can do it? If your head's lightning with maths, etc., which obviously even the pros are not, because they end up standing there scratching their head. I mean, there's plenty of them that ask the referee 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times during a match what's left. So obviously they're not like red hot on the actual maths of it. So if you're not, like I'm not, I'm useless, me, because I have a slight number dysphoria. So I have to have certain ways of doing things. And I focus on being logical. I have to do things logically. Like people saying, this is the way I feel, so this is the way that it should be done. I don't believe that. If you've got stepping stones, why would you walk through the river? If there's stepping stones there that you can quite easily hop along, why would you choose to walk in the river? You just wouldn't, would you? So that's the way I see things. So you know my view on the 70 finishes, which is only just above the 50s and 60s, but it still makes it a lot simpler, because 72, you always use this example, or 76, whichever way you want, 74, 74, let's make it a bit odder. Right, so you go for the big double 17 on the inside wire, you put one there, and it's just as simple as, you've gone there with your first one, you've capped it a bit, just put another one there, and you're still going where you were going in the first place. And if you're still going where you were going in the first place, your brain has already got that programmed in. Once you change your mind about that, you're in two minds. What happens when you're in two minds about anything? And you think to yourself, right, I'm going for 60s as I normally do. Your first one blocks the bed, and then you're like, and then you go for the 19s, you're in 7 and 3, aren't you? Because you weren't thinking about that in the first place. But that's the way I think about the finishing anyway. So, like, say we wanted 66, right? Loads of people, if they wanted 66, would go whichever way they would go. 66, I don't know which way would you go. I don't know which way you go, but I'll tell you which way I'd go. Is I'd go double 16, double 13, double top. So I would go double 13, double top. Simple as that. 40, 50, 60, 6, 66. Dead simple. I did this in the pub, not last Sunday, the Sunday before. Absolutely blew this bloke's brains out. I wanted 124. So what does Dave do? 60, double 12, double top. Oh, that's just outside. It wasn't just outside, it was right in the middle. So what is wrong with going that way? Well, I can't tell you what's wrong with going that way, but I can tell you what's right going that way. In Uncle Dave's brain is, watch. So we go 60, we hit the 60, big thumbs up. We go for double 12, and we land on the inside. Right, what do? We just put another one there. And why do we do that? Because we're still going for double top. We're still on that path. So you go and take those darts out, you can go to the back, you can relax for 4 or 5 seconds, get a couple of deep breaths in, and you know before you go to the hockey exactly where you're going. So you're then not thinking about anything. Because you know it should be automatically programmed in your brain. It's double top, double 10, double 5 with your next 3 arrows if you miss. Obviously, if you miss on either side of them, so like say you go for, you're on the path, you've done your thing, you've done them two, you've walked back with 3 in hand, you've gone for double top, and you've landed there. What do you do then? Do you start messing about? I don't, I go straight down here. Go straight down there for that. Have a go at it. If you miss it on the inside, then all you do is put one right next to it in the next bed, and you've got double 8 next time. And it's all about having that in your head before you walk to the hockey. What if what if I miss into the nines? If I'm going for a big 12 and I miss into the nines, I know exactly what I'm going to do. If I go for a big 12 and I miss into the fives, I know exactly where I'm going. There. And that leaves me back on the double top again. So that is the way that I think about the lower finishes. And if you get into this way of thinking, instead of being worried about how you're finishing because it's the way they do it on the telly, or it's the way that some other coach tells you how to do it. The problem that with the other coaches and with a lot of the other professionals and what have you is they're stuck in the past. They believe that the past is the best way. Now, if you think about it, we went from Shanks's pony, what my gran used to call Shanks's pony, so basically walking. We went from walking and we started to utilise animals, didn't we? We found out that it was easier for us, better, more progressive, to sit on an horse and ride around than it was walking about, because it was a lot less tiring, because the horse was doing the work. The horse can run a lot faster than we can. And then what did we do? We migrated from horses, horse and cart, so you could take the family about. Natural progression, then we got the motor car, then the motorbike, and everything progresses. So when I hear people tell me about Eric Bristow, Leighton Rees, Michael Van Gerwen, Phil Taylor, they were of the day. So what I'm hoping to do for darts is to produce a brighter future. Not for the people on the TV. I couldn't care less about them. They can go and do whatever they're doing. Not interested, don't care about them. What I care about is the people in the pubs, the people in the garage, the people who are coming up, the young players that want to, who may be playing now with the dad and their uncle, and at some point are going to go into the pub and start playing. And I'm just hoping that they become really good dart players. And the best way to become a good dart player is if somebody gives you some form of guidance on how to do it, instead of just going, there, there's a set of darts, get on with it. So I think, personally, darts coaching with Dynamite Dave is here for good, hopefully, with a bit of luck. And we're chipping away, we're getting bigger and bigger. And hopefully the bigger we get, the less that the others can deny what we're doing. Because what we're doing is working for so many people, it's unreal. Right, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. That was my little insight into the lower way, the mindset of the way of finishing the lower thingy, the lower actual finishes themselves. Right, so I promised all you guys a little bit of an update, so we're at the end of the video now. I always do the updates at the end of the video because the people who don't watch them all are not that interested in what's happening to me. Today is Thursday. On Monday, I went for my pre-op. So I went for my pre-op for my heart operation. As I'm sure most of you are aware, it's open heart surgery, so it's life-changing surgery. I'm just hoping that after it, if I do come through to the other side, fingers crossed, if I do get out the other side, that I'll be able to get back to playing darts to a reasonable standard. Whether I'll ever be able to play like I do now, and I said that about my knee, I've not been able to play to the same level consistently as I did before I had my knee done. I'm just hoping that this surgery, obviously because it means opening your chest out, it might change all the geometry of my chest and the way that my body works and what have you. I'm praying that that doesn't happen, but that will never stop me from coaching people. So if I do come out the other side, fingers crossed, we'll just be carrying on. I'll come back, start making videos and everything again. The nurse that I spoke to for my pre-operative meeting, so obviously I have had to have a load more tests. I've passed all them, fortunately, with flying colours. So I'm now on the surgery ready shortlist. So I'm actually on the shortlist. So it could be at any time now to the next 3 months, because that pre-operative meeting, the pre-operative tests that were done last 3 months. So hopefully that's sort of like containing it to the next 3 months. So we'll be carrying on as usual for the next 3 months, or for the next week or 2 weeks, or however long it is till I actually go in for the surgery. So I'm hoping when I come out the other side, I'll be like a new man. Fingers crossed. They said I will be. I won't be as lethargic, because at the moment, I walk up the stairs, I'm out of breath. I walk 100 yards down the road, I'm out of breath. It's just something that I'd love to get out the other side of. Obviously, the first couple of weeks, I probably won't be able to use a laptop or anything, I don't think. But I'm going to be in hospital for a week. So they say it's 5 to 7 days. So for the first 2 weeks after the operation, I probably won't even be allowed to use my laptop. But once I can, then I've got plenty of time. I'll have all the time in the world to just sit and edit, won't I? So I'm just doing a load of footage so as we can make some videos, hopefully, while I'm down and obviously not capable of working, but hopefully capable of putting a couple of videos out to keep you guys going. Right, so end of that waffle. So we know where we stand now. And then hopefully see you on the other side sort of thing. Right, so thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, lads and lasses, you'll only ever get out of this game what you're prepared to put in. And always, 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 talk to the hockey. And take care of each other. See you soon.